Hey everyone, today we are doing some exploring in Hamilton, Ontario, and we're actually looking for waterfalls. So the first waterfall on our list today is Webster Falls, and we're going to show you what it looks like and take you around Hamilton to see some of the other sites in the area. Hamilton, Ontario is located approximately 45 minutes southwest of Toronto and along the westernmost tip of Lake Ontario. The Niagara Escarpment and Bruce Trail run through the city, making it a beautiful location for hiking, nature, and waterfalls. We spent the day exploring outdoors and some of the attractions, but there's a lot to see and do in this city, so much so that we've already been back for a second day trip. Our first stop of the day was bright and early at Webster Falls. With the main access being closed, it was a bit tricky to find the parking lot, but we eventually did and made our way to the falls entrance. To get there, we had to walk along a residential road with no sidewalks, so if you're visiting with kids, beware of cars. Once we were inside the main entrance, we started our hike to the various viewpoints to see the falls.
That is pretty, yeah.
So we just made it to Webster Falls and we're at one of the lookout points here, and it is absolutely beautiful. We had no idea that there were waterfalls like this in Hamilton. What do you think?
Amazing. Take a look.
Because of the pandemic, we actually had to reserve our spot to come to Webster Falls online in advance because we're trying to limit the number of people and the number of cars that they have in their parking lot. So you get a 2-hour window and it costs, I think, about $30 Canadian for us to book our spot. And we have 2 hours to go and explore the trails and see the waterfalls and do whatever you want to do. You cannot barbecue here or picnic, so they don't want any litter, no barbecuing, and drones are not permitted. So we did bring our drone, but sadly we aren't able to fly it.
One of the big pluses is it's so empty. There's like nobody here. It feels like we have the whole park to ourselves.
We really enjoyed our time hiking here and checking out the falls and would definitely recommend it. But be sure to book early online so that you can get your ideal spot when you want to visit. After Webster Falls, we drove into Dundas, Ontario. This town was so charming with little shops, restaurants, bars, and historic architecture. We didn't have time to explore on the day we visited, but went back a few weekends later to look around and visit their brewery. Definitely a cute town to add to your Hamilton itinerary. So we've arrived at our next destination. We are now going to Dundas Peak and Tews Falls. Hamilton area has so many waterfalls. We didn't even know about them all, but apparently this one is really popular. You have to reserve it in advance as well. So we have a 2-hour window to go and explore Dundas Peak and Tews Falls. So come along with us and we will show you what it's like. We just took a completely unnecessary detour that didn't show us any beautiful sights.
So, just saw a ditch. That's pretty cool.
Ditch, a steep one. Now we think we're back on track, but time will tell. It didn't take too long to get to the viewing points here at Tews Falls, and they definitely offered amazing views. We even caught a rainbow at the bottom of the falls. Look at this. Hiking the rest of the loop to Dundas Peak was more of a challenge. The path was pretty steep and uneven with various sized hills, but overall I would say it's an easy trail. We made it! Well, we made it to Dundas Peak and it was quite a hike to get here. There were a lot of ups and downs and it was pretty steep, but I'd say it was pretty worth the hike. What do you think?
Considering it rained yesterday, the trails were a lot better than I thought they were going to be, so that's a huge plus.
And it was actually supposed to rain later today, but we decided to come anyways and risk it, and it turned out to be a beautiful day. So let us show you the beautiful views here at Dundas Peak. If anyone in your party does have mobility issues, there are some stairs that would not be easy to navigate. Another good thing to note is that Dundas Peak now has a barrier fence to keep you safe. Surprisingly, this fence only went up in late 2020 to prevent people from falling off the edge. Even with the fence, there are beautiful views, and it makes it a much safer attraction for families with young kids. And I would highly recommend this attraction. After our morning of hiking, we needed to cool down and relax, so naturally we found ourselves at a brewery. So we are at Grain and Grit Brewery to enjoy some craft beers. I got the Pinky Swear IPA and I also got a wheat beer with mango, and both of them are delicious. Alan got the Hokey Pokey, and what was the other one you got? An APA?
An APA, yeah.
And they're all good, so we're going to enjoy our beers here and then carry on for the day. The beer garden here is quite large and spaced out with umbrellas and a tent to offer some shade. A few things to note if you're planning a visit. They don't serve food here, their patio is dog friendly, and since it's so popular, you should try to reserve a table in advance. We really enjoyed the beer and atmosphere here and would definitely go back. After enjoying our beers, we headed to downtown Hamilton to look around and find some murals. On the Hamilton tourism site, you can actually get locations of some of the more popular street art, but we found some of the murals just by driving and walking around. I've linked it below if you want to take a look. Like any major city, I wouldn't recommend walking around here alone in the evening, especially in certain parts of the downtown area. And if you're more cautious like we are, you can stick to areas where you can drive and limit your walking. Either way, we enjoyed getting a view of the city and the street art. On our drive through the downtown, we found a rather busy pedestrian area with restaurants and shops and decided to go there for dinner. The atmosphere was really nice here. We had a table on the side of the building, so it was much quieter and the food was amazing.
So right now we're at the Mule in Hamilton, tacos and bourbon. They have a wide selection of bourbon, some good stuff, priced pretty well. And this stuff here, super delicious. queso fundito. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
The menu is organized by not tacos and tacos, so we headed right for the taco options. I had a Brussels sprouts taco and a beef and pork taco, and my husband got pork carnitas and chicken. Big thumbs up on the food. And after dinner, we decided to make one final stop to beat the rain. We've made it to Dundurn National Historic Site, which is a castle here in Hamilton, Ontario. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it isn't open, but the grounds are, so we're going to take you on a quick tour around. Visiting the grounds of Dundurn Castle is completely free, and even during the pandemic, the grounds are open for visitors because it's located in a large park area. This castle is a historical mansion that was built in 1835 and has 40 rooms. It was even built to have electricity and running water, a luxury at the time. We spent about half an hour walking around the grounds and noticed it was very popular for photo shoots. So Dundurn National Historic Site is actually a castle and a military museum. For adults, it usually costs about $14, as you can see here, to get in, but seniors and children are less. So when it does open up, it would definitely be a fun activity and not too expensive. Unfortunately, we didn't get to make it to the last few stops on my list that day. We planned to check out a few other waterfalls, but the weather just wasn't cooperating. It's starting to rain now here in Hamilton, so we think we're gonna call it a day. We hope you liked this tour around some of the sites here in Hamilton, and if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more travel videos coming soon. Bye!